Hi, welcome to Dr. Chris in the Kitchen. Today I have a special guest with me. We've got Seven here.
Hello.
And what are we going to make today, Seven?
Macaroons.
What kind of macaroons?
I don't know. Depends what we're making.
Excellent. Well, let's find out. We're going to make some coconut macaroons. Actually, they're going to be coconut cacao nib macaroons. Even better, raw chocolate is really good for you. It has antioxidants. And those antioxidants prevent you from aging as they quelch free radicals. So a little bit of chocolate, the right kind of chocolate every day, is really good for you. So we're going to actually make these macaroons using almond pulp that you use when you make almond milk. So you have all this almond pulp left over, what to do with it. And just a note about almonds, if you didn't know, most almonds that you buy in the store have been pasteurized. So even if they say raw almonds, they're really not raw, they've been pasteurized. So I get my almonds at the farmer's market here in California. If you're not in California, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them, but possibly by mail order. But if you are in California and you've got a farmer's market, check out the market and there's probably some almond growers there. So we're going to add, this was the pulp from about a cup and a half of almonds when I was making almond milk. So go ahead and drop that in there, Seven. No spoon. Good. Great. Okay, next we're going to add about 3 cups of flaked coconut. So this is organic, again. So Seven, go ahead and just drop that in. Leave a little bit. You know what, we can use a cup if you want. It's going to take about 3 cups of coconut. A lot of times I'll eyeball this and it's almost a whole bag of coconut. Let me help you out. You don't have to be exact. Yeah, it's a little bit left in there. So we're just going to mix that up. And while he's mixing, I'll talk a little bit about the other ingredients that bind it together. Now, a lot of people use date or date puree to hold this all together and sweeten it. If you don't want all that sugar and fructose, then I'm going to show you an alternative way to do this that actually, even if you're on a Candida diet, you can eat. I want to talk a little bit about what will bind this together. So cocoa butter is the key. You can also check out your beauty supply aisle and look for food grade cocoa butter if you can't find the other raw cocoa butter. Just make sure it says hexane free on it and food grade. Now, a little surprise ingredient, a little bit that makes it different for me, is I use a little bit of cream coconut. So you can either buy it in a box like this, or I get this in bulk and then I just transfer it into jars and use a little bit. So I'm probably using a ratio of 2 to 1, 2 parts of cocoa butter to 1 part of the cream coconut. And here it is melted. Now the way I melted this was I just spooned it out into the bowl and stuck it in my dehydrator until the cocoa butter melted. You can also use a warm water bath if you like, but I find this is the easiest way and it doesn't take that long. Just make sure that your coconut and your almond pulp are at room temperature, so if you had any in the fridge or freezer, take them out, stick them in the dehydrator. So Seven, I'm going to have you go ahead and spoon that in. Now a little trick to get all the rest of this is to spoon a little coconut in. That's going to attach to it, and then we can scrape that out of there. There you go. And let's see if we can get a little bit more. You don't want to waste any little bit. Now, of course, before you do this particular recipe, you want to wash your hands because you are going to be using your hands in here. So Seven's going to go wash his hands while I stir this in a little bit. Again, you can use a variety of sweeteners. I'm choosing today sweeteners that are Candida friendly if you're having a problem with Candida or diabetes, or you are watching your weight and you don't want so much fructose or sugar. The two types of sweeteners I'm going to use are Lohan and vanilla stevia. Vanilla stevia cuts the bitterness down a little. Stevia is an herb that you can actually grow in your garden and use the actual leaf if you want, or you can buy extracts. And just a little bit is going to go in here to add a little bit of sweetness. I put probably 4 or 5 squirts of the Lohan, and then I'm going to use probably about a drop or so. Now, to enhance the sweetness, you want to just add a teeny bit of salt. So go ahead and mix that in, 7. I'm going to add a little bit of cacao nibs. Start mixing them in and see how that starts to look. We're going to do the raw version that's going to be dehydrated. You can also use your oven on the very lowest setting, or you can spoon them out into macaroons and just stick them in the refrigerator. How's that smelling, 7?
Smells good already.
So now is the time to use your hands. So you want to get in there and start mushing it together. I'm not a big measurer, as you can see. What are you doing? We're not going to just be like throwing this around, are we?
Not unless we have a macaroon fight.
Oh, that'd be a waste. Let's have a little taste. Let's see.
Tastes good already.
Is that sweet enough, do you think?
A little more.
Maybe a teeny bit more of each. Alright, let's do another squirt of that. Maybe stevia is super concentrated. You don't want to overdo it. Alright, you ready?
You want more in your mouth, not on the floor.
I think that's good. These are great for picnics, lunches. Yeah, you don't even need a spoon. Just pick up a bunch and just squeeze it in your hands until you get it into a little ball.
They're also good for your child's snacks.
Yeah, lunchbox, right? Better to do. Oh no, it's better to do it over the bowl.
Please move your hand now.
I know, I'm in your way. All right. So 7 and I have finished making our macaroons. They're ready to go into the dehydrator. I'm going to do them about 100 degrees, and I'll do it overnight, so we'll have some macaroons in the morning for snack. Happy eating!
And if you make it right, it'll taste delicious in your mouth.
Not. Alright, so it's the next day, and I've taken these balls out of the dehydrator and stuck them in the fridge. I think these actually taste better once you dehydrate them a little bit chilled, because then the cocoa butter in the recipe gets to firm up, almost like a white chocolate taste. So we've got our famous taste tester, 7, here. Why don't you tell us what you think, 7?
Well, I'll see. Good.
Anything you would change?
Add a little more chocolate bits.
Oh, absolutely. Can never have too much chocolate.
Mm.
Well, there you have it, folks. So if you too are a chocoholic, you can add more chocolate to these and make them super duper chocolate nib coconut macaroons. All right. Have a great day.